Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be talking about the top 10 LR EZAs slash top 10 LRs and just how good they are in DBZ Dokkan Battle, ranking them from 1 to 10. Now, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. No one ever likes my rankings, but I don't care. I just like doing it because also it's just fun for me to kind of get my thoughts across on the meta and everything. And then also it's important to understand that Dokkan's meta is shifting in the sense that it's now moving towards shorter content, but that's not a bad thing. Dokkan having a diverse meta by having things like Festival of Battles and units that thrive in there, having units like Tien who can do insanely high damage at any given point in time, I think is all really, really good. And I have 12 characters here. Yes, they will all be in the list. Really, that's just what I want to do. So let's talk about, basically, for me, what makes number one unit in the game. So number one unit in the game, for me, has to be between, probably, I would say, give or take these three. For me, personally. The reason is because Rose can run under Omega, Gogeta can run underneath the Blue Boys, right? Almost fully functionally, so it kind of like they can literally work under their teams. This guy is an insane support. These guys are insanely good utility wise and leader skill wise. And then this dude here is really, really, really top. These are definitely my top 4. It makes sense. They're the most recent. I don't think that's a surprise. And I'm going to be honest, and people will say, oh, that's the 10th anniversary units are right here. People say, oh, they're suffering from short form content. I have used them to complete all these stages that are short form. I don't know what people are talking about. Literally, they're more than fine. I really think sometimes people lose their minds over unimportant things. Next is very difficult because I think it depends on the landscape of the meta and it depends on teams, and Doran will sort this out a bit further on. In terms of the next step, there's the evaluation of whether units are consistently good, whether the revive is super valuable, and then obviously the prevalence of you as a support. I think this is something always to evaluate quite interestingly. So if we take a look at, for example, SS4Ku, his value skyrockets with the release of Gogeta. Linking, supporting, synergy, he gets huge value. Yes, he can take chip damage, blah blah blah, but this release boosts these two in the moment. They're connected to a unit that's higher on the list, they cater to that unit, they enable that unit, therefore they kind of get a boost, right? But then next week, they could release a SSBE Gogeta or something, and all of a sudden these guys shoot up. I think when you evaluate units, these two always have to kind of be together, almost like they're one. They're so very similar in design and they're both excellent. I do like Gogeta more, especially with AGL Gogeta. I found myself transforming super early on with him, getting the nullification, having a good time with him, and I think that's really good. The USS units are really, really good. They are absolutely really top-notch units. Their issue is that their team takes a bit of a dip, right? Because Superheroes isn't getting as many buffs, USS is a little bit behind on buffs. What they're lacking is actually damage. It sounds really weird to say now in the year of 2025, but these guys are lacking damage. One thing I will say is Goku is definitely seeing more prevalence than Vegeta because of his evasion. The evasion, the way his revive activates, is intrinsically working better than Vegeta's. So when Vegeta and him first came out, Vegeta was kind of on top because of how he could just handle raw damage. Goku is definitely better for me right now. Even though they function on the same teams, also Goku can still work on other teams. He still can function on a lot of different teams. So then the question is, where does SS4Ku go? So for me, SS4Ku is a unit that you either love because of how he enables all of the GT team, or he's a unit you don't like because you don't have a GT team. That kind of amounts him. His giant form is amazing. His support function is amazing. Everything he does is really top notch. Damage is still pretty good, 30-40 millions. His enabling of this Gogeta is so crucial though. His ability to enable this Gogeta and a lot of the GT heroes lineup is very crucial. So I kind of want to probably do this for now. That feels really, really good to me. Now let's talk around a little bit here. So when it comes to the bottom here, I think there's a big question. These guys are going to be a strange unit to place for a while. Because of how conditional the unit is, it's a very difficult unit to place. You can have turns where Goten and Trunks do hundreds of millions damage, more than any of these characters. And then you also have turns where Gohan or Goten and Trunks completely sell a run, like very obviously sell. So it's a bit difficult to evaluate them entirely on that premise. Because of how stringent their conditions are, I feel like, although they definitely perform better than these units, I definitely feel like they are probably here. Just because of their limitations, how heavily limited they are. Youth is getting a lot of buffs. The SS2 Gohan really helps. And I do want to kind of mention that Gohan now because I do think it's important to note. And there's a ton of other great units. Like if you look at Kale and Caulifla, Kale and Caulifla are absolutely amazing, etc. So there's a ton of great units. But like you look at Gohan's Extreme Z Awakening that's just come out for the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and it's great. It does so much stuff, but it's conditional. The conditions are very harmful. So yes, Gohan can hit, much like Tien, can hit huge attack stats, but the difference is Tien's conditions are not that difficult to meet, whereas Gohan's feels almost like, not difficult to meet, but feels like it could cause him some issues. Then I think we need some more clarity around the top. So I'd probably even do this actually. We need some more clarity around the top. So for me, I would probably say that the blue boys, at least at this point in time, are probably, it's very difficult to say. It's such a throw up here. The big thing is their leader skill is obviously a lot more usable than GT heroes. Because for example, blue boys can run a team like this, right? Like they can run that whole team. That's nuts. So it's really their leader skill that I think they're a good unit as well, but it's their leader skill that for me really kind of throws them up there. I would probably do, I think I would do this if I can be forgiven. I think I would do this. This feels, no, definitely this. This feels about right to me. The hindrance with Rose is his leader skill. He only leads super bosses, which is very difficult. And when you only lead super bosses, when you lead such a small category that doesn't get buffs all the time, and then like we even see this celebration, his team is short. So obviously he fits great under Omega. Omega's got a huge encompassing leader skill, it helps him a lot. His lead is short. People who don't like Omega have not played with Omega properly. I'm a sole believer in that. So yeah, that's my lineup. Listen, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. I think it would be really awesome, so let me know. But yeah, that's my top 10. Well, 13. But hey, this is what it is. Thanks for watching. Bye.